Cool. Everybody, and welcome back to Broken Sword. We are currently outside of the pub in Ireland, so we need to investigate what is down under this trapdoor. So let's get started there.
It was a trap door in the sidewalk.
So I don't believe we can open
I tugged at the trap door, but it was locked from the inside.
If we go over here, maybe not. Actually, I think
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
cool. We need to do that so that when we go in here, I believe the beer tap stopped working. No, sorry, I think the yeah, I think it's the beer taps.
Excuse me? Yes, sir?
God, I could do with a beer right now. It is so hot in the UK. I think we're having another heat wave this week, and I think today it was 30. 30 degrees Celsius, and tomorrow and Thursday, I think, I'm expecting it to be closer to 35. And no air conditioning, because it's the UK and we don't have air conditioning in our houses. But I'm not complaining about the heat, but it can be quite uncomfortable. Yeah. I don't think oh yes, I do want a beer.
Hey, how about another drink?
See him again?
Do you serve cocktails?
I'll serve anyone with manners and money.
No, I'm serious. Have you considered turning McDevitt's into a cocktail bar? Cocktails are chic, cool, and popular with younger drinkers.
What? Kids in the bar? Can you imagine it? Pinball, pimples, and puke.
Right, I get the picture. I'll settle for a glass of stout.
I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I can fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my idea, is it?
I think I have an electrician's pass.
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Cool. So, this is now...
And when you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Will do. So, this is why we got the wire from this dude, is because we can head over to the plug.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug. Seemed fine to me.
Where's the button for the inventory? Yeah, so we take the wire and we put it to the plug.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half-pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
I think he makes the joke that the flashlight should probably not be in the cellar when it's dark. But
What a dumb place to store a flashlight. A dark cellar. The only way I was going to find anything down there was to feel around.
yeah, I think we need to open the lever.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Then we go back outside. That now unlocks the grate. That's the grate that's on the pavement outside. So I should be able to go out here to open it.
I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Oh, damn.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
Well, he doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He is being taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
So, I think maybe in conjunction with the music as well. I remember when I played this for the first time as a kid, and that section there, like, scared me. Like, where you just, like, you know, you're dealing with this, and then he walks just immediately from the left side of the screen, and you know he's, like, the bad guy, and everything, and it's like, oh, did he see you back in the hotel when you were in the wardrobe or anything like that? Yeah, no, it freaked me out. So yeah, no cool. But yeah, so we now go this way, and because the trapdoor's open, we'll have some light to see. So wow.
Then I noticed a flash of light, something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
Yeah, I thought in the original
It was Peagram's gem,
the
all
box
right.
was there.
A large, uncut blue stone. As I held it aloft, I realized the fascination it could command. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire, I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Yeah, sort of George. He can be like a real do-gooder at times, but I guess the kid is like meant to be like really young, right? Like 10 or something probably. So it's fair enough. But yeah, I thought that the box for the diamond was there, and in the original it was, but they obviously like drew it out for the remake. Not that it matters whatsoever.
I searched the trash, but There was nothing useful there.
So we have the
It was a large blue gemstone.
gemstone, yeah. And we've got the flashlight. So what we need to do now is grab something from upstairs and then head over to the castle. So it's another one of these sort of timing puzzles where someone's doing something. See this guy here drinking and he's got his hand on the bar towel, so I need to grab it whilst he's having a drink. Similar to how you grabbed the wire from this
The
guy when
man's
he was
arm lay
sneezing.
across the towel, preventing me from moving it.
It's just a timing thing. So I'll click it. Now. And you take it.
As the man raised his arm to drink, I snatched the towel away.
Like, I don't know why this guy would apparently care, and I mean, it's his pub rate, so he'd probably be kind of asking why you're stealing his towel, but he doesn't seem to mind. So yeah, now we've got everything we need to go to the next bit. And we're gonna soon come up against a puzzle which is, I guess, notorious. At least in the Broken Sword community, it's notorious. It's called the Goat Puzzle. And it's notorious because a lot of people back in the day found it really hard to get past. But I know how to do it, and I can explain in just a second when we get there why it was hard and how to do it.
Hi, it's me again.
So I see. What now?
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
I keep on, I need to get used to the controls again. So I'm using the mouse mode on the Switch too, which is really cool because obviously I've got like a cursor. And you would maybe think that in order to select stuff, you would press where your index finger is, which would be like one of the R buttons, like the shoulder buttons. But you still have to press A, like you would, I guess, if you were using just the standard controls. So you're essentially clicking, you're like using a very small mouse, but you're clicking with your thumb. So I keep forgetting to do that.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the
But
Ferrari.
it's not really
His name
a
is
big
Sean
deal.
Fitzgerald.
Oh, I
Just
know
in case
him, all
anyone
right.
was wondering how it
That's me
works.
nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Sorry for speaking over that. Yeah, so yeah, just if anyone cared how the mouse worked, the mouse controls worked. That's how.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I'd put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvellous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Cool. So, we have to do... I'd love to know how he actually got the hay bales on that high.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Or a sewer key. I remember
I
learning...
inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
I remember knowing that was what you had to do. Because back in the day, I think this scene was in the trailer for this game. And it showed this animation here where George climbs on the sewer key and climbs over the wall. So that's how I always knew what to do. And I remember that for some reason. Okay. The infamous goat. Right. So this is called the goat puzzle, if you don't know. So here's the thing. So you're trying to get here down this hole, okay, and there's a goat tethered to this fence thing. So if I go down the hole, he's gonna knock me over. And so there's this thing over here. So if I look at the plow, I can even interact with the plow, and he knocks me over. Oh my god. So this stumped people, including myself, to be fair, the first time I played this game. So actually, yeah, so when I had this game on the PC, it had a built-in kind of hint system. I know this one has a hint system. It wasn't quite as sophisticated as this. I think you had to come out of the game and there was almost a sort of Q&A, or not Q&A, an FAQ section that was on the disc. And you kind of hoped that the problem you were having was one of the FAQs in that list, you know. That's how you got through the game. And I think this must have been on here, but... Oh, no, actually, I tell a lie. I don't know if it was or not. I can't remember. I think I did it by accident the first time, and I didn't know how to do it again. So basically, the solution is this. And I think even the maker of the game has regarded this as unfair and just apologized for it, because the reason why people got stuck was because the way that you do it is you click over here. Basically, it's inconsistent with how any other puzzle works in the game. And then you click over here whilst the animation's midway through, and he runs across and moves it across. So it's not difficult, it's not complicated, it's just that. And now the goat's got itself all tangled up.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
Yeah, so now I'm free to just go over here and he can't get to me. So it's nothing big or elaborate, but it was just the fact that you had to click one thing, allow the animation to go, and then click on the other thing whilst it was happening, which isn't consistent with how the game really works in any other puzzle. So it wasn't something people would think to do, I suppose. So I think I did do that when I was a kid, but without realizing that that was I'd been trying to go back and forth for ages, and I must have just got it right by accident, you know, and he ran across the screen. I was like, how did he do that? Anyway, that's how you do it. Right, so for this, we need to... this statue has...
It was a statue which had fallen from its place on the wall. 5 fingers of stone projected from the back of the carving.
So if we try to lift it up, we can't.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
And I mean, we're trying to...
There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately.
Yeah, so obviously there's this statue over here, so we can deduce that this statue used to be up here. So we lift it up.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
So if just to remind ourselves, this is the expedition, like the dig that Professor Peagram came to, who has since left. It's where he found the gemstone that I currently have on my possession. And they found this old Templar church basically under the castle. And so this is the leftover of the expedition. And I believe this is plaster of Paris, which I don't know if that's something that you would want in a... I don't know why you'd want that.
The sack contained a fine white powder.
But I guess it's, you do.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
There's a clue right there. So we take the plaster and we pour it over the hole.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
And then we have another sort of timing-based puzzle. So we need this to be wet, basically. And in order to achieve that, we need to go back to the pub. Or more to the point, back in the basement, or the cellar, sorry, of the pub. And then there's this faucet, which...
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
And this is what we wanted the bar towel for. And now this is actually like a timing thing as well, because if you do this too slowly, you don't have to, I don't think you have to be like super quick.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
If you deviate and do something else now, that towel will dry out. So if you go all the way back to the plaster and try to use it after like talking to a load of people or whatever, it wouldn't work. You'd have to come back here and do that again. But I'm just going to head straight back to the plaster and we should be fine. Oh. Cool. Bar towel. You should wring it out. Nice.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster. I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Cool. And then we just put it in here. And
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets.
Now we're done with
There
Ireland.
was a soft thud, then silence.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's, I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say Peagram has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Peagram's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
I've been reading about Peagram in this magazine.
The media got its claws on him.
Yeah, if I was his agent, I'd get him to lose the pipe.
That dig must have been pretty important to him. He resigned his chair at Durham University to go to Ireland. And now he's disappeared.
I like how that picture at the top was like inside the bar we were just in. You could see like the landlord.
See what you can find out about Professor
Fitzgerald.
Peagram.
I'll speak to the university. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. What do you know about Professor Peagram?
I've seen a television program, Peagram's Past. He's written a book, The Crusader Families of Ireland.
Let's take another look at the
She
manuscript.
almost slipped out of her French accent there for a second. Went a bit British. I think the actress is British.
That's the tripod in the Crew Museum. That's the gem that Peagram found in Lochmarn.
Cool. Yep, so we need to go and obtain the tripod.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, Josh. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
He's got a point. The game would absolutely fall on its ass if he didn't have
I can't sit here all day,
useless junk. in his
much as
pocket.
I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobino at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Cool. So she's just helped us out by reminding us about Lobino and Rosso. We went to the museum previously and I was expecting him to be there. I forgot you have to do the whole island thing before you actually meet him. But yeah, we'll see him. Oh, it gives you the sewer key back. Did you see that? Like I brought it back with me. Must have been an interesting conversation at the airport when you're going through with a sewer key and like a gem. But yeah. Cool. Here he is.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay, shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure, it was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Peagram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
Okay, sorry for that cut.
Do you know Peagram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Peagram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud. Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
Yeah, I seem to remember you learn a little bit about the Templars. They're not just like the bad guys in Assassin's Creed.
How did the Templars get
bit
their
more.
name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained a mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend, who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
It's
Thanks for your
interesting
help,
that,
Andre.
You're welcome.
Worried about Andre being a predator, but like still gives her the address. But yeah, so the tripod is right here.
The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript.
Eh, no. No, monsieur. No.
What's wrong?
You must not handle the exhibits.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so I think the other thing we have to do is go and speak to Rosso. Yeah, there's like dynamic lighting in this remake where he like casts shadows everywhere, which is really nice. Obviously that was not there in the original, but hopefully they'll. I don't see why they wouldn't do that in the remake of the second one, but yeah, hopefully. Do you think that that guy, see in this picture here, he looks a bit like Nico Bellic from GTA 4?
Excuse me?
What do you want now?
Just something I randomly noticed. I don't know if that's supposed to be anybody. Yeah, that was just that in the original game, so anyway.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
I can't remember
It's Stobbart,
exactly
monsieur.
what we're
He
going to
insists
talk
on
about,
talking to you again.
but I think they
Thank
should
you,
put
Moo.
the hospital on the map after having that piece of dialogue. I think. I can't remember.
What now, monsieur?
Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet. I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Have you heard of the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. But of course, monsieur, their fame is widespread throughout France. We haven't forgotten them, unlike the rest of Europe.
It was the King of France who persecuted them, though.
Indeed.
That shook his cool. Underneath his cultured facade, the man was real twitchy. You're obviously a great admirer of the Knights Templar.
They were men of great honor, monsieur. The flower of chivalry.
Not everyone would share your views, Inspector.
Not everyone shares my passion for Bartok.
But if the Templars were as honorable as...
That's enough. I do not wish to hear your uninformed opinions, Stobbart.
Why do you get so wound up about the Knights Templar? They've been dead for centuries. I shouldn't have pushed my luck. Maybe his ancestors were Templars. Whatever. I saw the anger flare in his eyes like a distant summer thunderstorm.
The Templars were the first true internationalists. 800 years on, and still the world is fragmented by nationalistic flag-waving fools. You will excuse me.
I've upset him. Okay, so we have Montfaucon and we have the hospital. Yeah, so I think we go to maybe the hospital first.
The old building managed to retain some of its original grandeur, but the modern additions look like a baseball cap on a statue of a medieval saint.
Okay, and I'm gonna actually leave it here for this episode. So, yeah, we can investigate the hospital in the next one, and then continue from there. So, sorry if it's a bit of a shorter episode. Got to run and do some things, but yeah, have an awesome day wherever you guys are, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks a lot. Bye.